In the quiet, tree-lined suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina, two sisters, Emily Harper and Lauren Brooks, grew up in a cozy middle-class home, shaped by the steady hands of their parents. Their father, a civil engineer, and their mother, a high school math teacher, instilled values of hard work, frugality, and kindness. Yet, these lessons landed differently on each sister, setting the stage for a lifelong rivalry that simmered beneath the surface of their seemingly idyllic upbringing. Emily Harper, 32, was the younger sister, a pragmatic dreamer with a fire for achievement. From her early teens, while her peers splurged on concert tickets or the latest sneakers, Emily squirreled away every dollar from her part-time barista job into a savings account for college. Her bedroom was a study in order, books neatly stacked, goals meticulously outlined in a worn journal. By 15, she'd already mapped out a 10-year plan, her ambitions rooted in discipline rather than flash. That focus paid off. She earned a partial scholarship to Duke University, graduated with honors in marketing, and launched an eco-friendly home decor startup called Greenhaven Designs. The first few years were grueling, living in a cramped studio, surviving on instant coffee and sheer determination, reinvesting every cent into her business. By year 4, Greenhaven had 12 employees and a feature in Forbes's 30 Under 30. Emily's success was hard-won, built on late nights and relentless hustle. But to the outside world, she made it look effortless. Lauren Brooks, 35, her older sister by 3 years, craved a different kind of spotlight. Where Emily saw value in steady progress, Lauren chased glamour and instant gratification. As a teenager, she'd beg for designer handbags, dream of European getaways, and thrive on being the center of attention. Her Instagram was a curated gallery of luxury, borrowed or barely affordable, but her reality was less polished. Lauren bounced between retail jobs, quitting whenever the work felt beneath her or clashed with her social calendar. She leased a sleek Audi she couldn't quite afford, rented a chic downtown loft that stretched her budget, and racked up credit card debt to maintain the facade of success. To Lauren, appearances were everything, and she measured her worth by the envy she could spark in others. The tension between the sisters began early, rooted in Lauren's need to outshine Emily at every turn. Emily still remembered the sting of 4th grade, when she'd poured weeks into a science fair project, a solar-powered model city that earned her first place and a nod from the local newspaper. At the school showcase, Lauren, then in 7th grade, told classmates she'd guided Emily because her little sister couldn't figure out the wiring. Emily, hurt but too shy to confront her, swallowed the slight. It became their pattern, Lauren claiming credit or diminishing Emily's wins, Emily retreating into silence. By high school, the dynamic was entrenched. When Emily landed her Duke scholarship, Lauren told their extended family she'd coached her through the application essays. When Emily graduated with a 3.9 GPA, Lauren spun it as following my advice to focus. Their parents, well-meaning but conflict-averse, enabled Lauren's behavior. Their dad would pat Emily's shoulder and say, "Don't take it personally, kiddo." Their mom would sigh, "Lauren just has a big personality." Neither saw the deeper wound. Lauren's need to eclipse Emily masked her own insecurities, while Emily's quiet resilience hid a growing frustration. As adults, the sisters' paths diverged further. Emily's Greenhaven Designs became a quiet powerhouse, specializing in sustainable furniture sourced from ethical manufacturers. She lived modestly in a cozy townhouse, drove a reliable Subaru, and invested heavily in her retirement fund. Her life was a testament to long-term thinking, even if it meant foregoing flash for stability. Lauren, meanwhile, leaned into her image as a tastemaker. She'd post about her weekend escapes to Miami or Charleston, often funded by maxed-out credit cards or friends she never named. When Emily's business hit a milestone, doubling revenue in its 5th year, Lauren was quick to tell family gatherings she'd always believed in Emily's little venture, or had given her the confidence to take risks. The truth? She'd never offered a single piece of advice. The breaking point loomed when Emily's business hit a rough patch. 7 months ago, a key supplier went under. leaving Greenhaven with $50 in unfulfilled orders and a PR headache. An algorithm tweak on a major e-commerce platform tanked her visibility, forcing Emily to take out a short-term loan to keep things afloat. She knew the setback was temporary. Her team was already pivoting to new suppliers and marketing strategies, but cash flow was tight. And the stress was real. Somehow, Lauren got wind of this, likely from snooping through Emily's desk during a visit to her townhouse. Emily had caught her flipping through mail once but brushed it off. That was her mistake. The catalyst for change came unexpectedly. 3 years earlier, on a family trip to Lake Norman, Lauren had fallen in love with a stunning lakefront estate, a 5-bedroom modern retreat with floor-to-ceiling windows, a private dock, and views that stretched across the shimmering water. Priced at $1.4 million. It was far beyond her means. But Lauren spent the trip obsessing over it. She toured the open house, snapped photos of every room, and talked endlessly about hosting family retreats there. When she made it big, the house became her fantasy, a symbol of the life she believed she deserved. When it sold to another buyer, she mourned it at every family gathering, as if it had been hers to lose. Then, last month, the house hit the market again at a steep discount, $1 million. Thanks to the owner's messy divorce, Emily saw the listing by chance and felt a spark of something reckless. It wasn't just the investment potential of lakefront property in North Carolina's booming real estate market. It was the chance to finally draw a line in the sand after years of Lauren's subtle and not so subtle jabs. Emily spent 3 sleepless nights running numbers with her financial advisor, weighing the risk of liquidating part of her emergency fund and investment portfolio. The move was bold, even risky, but she couldn't shake the idea. She formed an LLC to keep her name off the records and made an all-cash offer, timing the closing for the morning of their annual family reunion. As she signed the preliminary papers, doubt crept in. Was she being petty, using her hard-earned money to one-up her sister? Or was this about reclaiming her power after decades of being undermined? The Harper family reunion, a tradition older than Emily herself, was held every July in their parents' sprawling backyard in Charlotte. White tables formed a U-shape under string lights, the air thick with the smell of grilled burgers and sunscreen. Normally, Emily loved these gatherings, catching up with cousins, sharing her latest designs. This year, her stomach churned as she pulled into the driveway, the weight of her business struggles and the impending house closing pressing down. She checked her phone one last time. No word from the real estate agent. Grabbing her homemade deviled eggs, she braced herself for what was to come. The Harper family reunion was in full swing, the Charlotte backyard buzzing with laughter, clinking glasses, and the smoky aroma of ribs sizzling on the grill. Emily Harper, clutching her tray of deviled eggs, stepped into the chaos, her heart pounding. She'd faced boardroom battles and supplier crises, but nothing unnerved her like the prospect of Lauren Brooks, her older sister, unleashing whatever scheme she'd cooked up. Emily's business, Greenhaven Designs, was weathering a storm, cash flow hiccups from a bankrupt supplier and an algorithm hit, but she wasn't broken. Not yet. And in her pocket, the weight of a keyring to a Lake Norman estate held her secret weapon. A bold move to shift the tides of their decades-long rivalry. The backyard was a kaleidoscope of red, white, and blue balloons bobbing against the summer sky. Cousins swapped stories. Aunts fussed over dessert tables groaning with peach cobbler and key lime pie. And kids darted through sprinklers. Emily's mom, Diane, swept her into a hug, her floral dress smelling of lavender and nostalgia. "You're late, sweetheart. Everyone's here, even your cousin Mia from Austin." Diane's smile faltered as she added, "Lauren's been, well, mysterious. Says she's got big news to share." Emily's stomach twisted. Lauren's big news was never good news for her. As Emily wove through the crowd, fielding hugs and small talk, her eyes scanned for Lauren. She spotted her by the lemonade table, whispering to their cousin Rachel and Aunt Linda, her platinum blonde hair catching the sun like a halo she didn't deserve. Lauren's outfit screamed money, Gucci sunglasses perched on her head, a silk jumpsuit that probably cost 2 months' rent, but Emily knew the truth. Lauren's life was a house of cards. propped up by debt and delusion. When Lauren caught Emily's gaze, she flashed a saccharine smile and waved, then leaned in to murmur something that made Rachel shoot Emily a pitying look. The warning bells in Emily's head screamed louder. "Don't let her get under your skin," came a voice behind her. Emily turned to find her cousin Mia, a no-nonsense CPA who'd helped Emily navigate her recent business loan. Mia handed her a glass of rosé, her eyes sharp. "Whatever Lauren's planning, it's about her ego, not you." Emily sighed, grateful for the ally. "I know, I just wish we'd outgrow this by now. We're in our 30s, for God's sake." Mia snorted. "Lauren's built her whole life on outshining you. Your success? It's her kryptonite." Their chat was cut short by their dad's booming voice, calling everyone to the tables for lunch. Emily found her seat, directly across from Lauren, because of course their mom's seating chart was a masterclass in chaos. Lauren was already holding court, regaling the table with tales of a spontaneous Napa Valley getaway, name-dropping a vineyard owner who begged her to visit. Her jumpsuit still had a security tag dangling from the hem, a detail only Emily noticed. "Emily, you made it," Lauren chirped, her voice dripping with fake warmth. "I was just telling everyone about this insane real estate deal I'm eyeing. Properties where the smart money's at, right?" The pointed jab landed hard. Did Lauren know about the lake house? No. Impossible. The LLC kept Emily's name hidden. "It can be," Emily replied coolly, scooping coleslaw onto her plate. "If you're strategic." Lauren leaned forward, her voice a stage whisper. "Speaking of strategy, I've been reading up on financial stability. Some businesses just aren't built to survive a downturn. You know?" The table went quiet, forks pausing mid-air. Emily's cheeks burned, but she held Lauren's gaze, refusing to flinch. Aunt Linda shifted uncomfortably, while Cousin Jake asked, too casually, "So, Emily, how's Greenhaven holding up?" Emily sipped her wine. "Buying time. We're adapting. Business is always a marathon, not a sprint." Lauren's smile tightened, but she didn't press, yet. By dessert, the pitying glances multiplied. Uncle Tom mentioned a friend hiring office managers, just in case you're looking for stability. Aunt Karen slipped Emily a card for a surefire MLM scheme selling candles. The whispers were suffocating, and Emily excused herself to the guest bathroom, needing air. In the quiet, she checked her phone. A text from her real estate agent. "Closing confirmed for 9 a.m. tomorrow. Congrats on Lake Norman." Relief washed over her. Whatever Lauren was planning, Emily had her ace. Back outside, she found Uncle David by the dessert table, savoring a slice of pecan pie. He was her favorite relative, quiet, wise, with a knack for seeing through family drama. "Your sister's on a warpath today," he said, not looking up. "Any clue what her big news is?" Emily grabbed a brownie, forcing a smile. "Nothing good, I bet." David chuckled. "People who tear others down are usually standing on quicksand themselves. Remember that." Before Emily could reply, a sharp clink cut through the chatter. Lauren stood at the head table, tapping a spoon against her wineglass, her face alight with barely contained glee. "Everyone, can I have your attention?" Lauren's voice carried across the yard, silencing the crowd. Emily's heart raced as she returned to her seat, bracing for impact. "First, thank you to Mom and Dad for another amazing reunion," Lauren began, raising her glass. Their parents beamed, oblivious. "Family means everything to me, which is why I believe in being honest when one of us is struggling." Her eyes locked on Emily, her smile a razor's edge. "I'm sure you've noticed Emily's been quieter today. Well, it's time we address the elephant in the room." Emily gripped her napkin, knuckles white. Mia shot her a worried glance from across the table. "It breaks my heart to say this," Lauren continued, her voice quivering with crocodile tears, "but Emily's business has collapsed. She's filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy." A collective gasp rippled through the family. Heads swiveled toward Emily, some with concern, others with morbid curiosity. "I found the paperwork last week," Lauren added, conveniently omitting how she'd snooped through Emily's private files. "She's lost everything: inventory, warehouse, even her personal savings." The banks seizing her assets. Their mom's hand flew to her mouth. Emily, honey, is this true? Why didn't you tell us? Before Emily could speak, Lauren barreled on. She was too ashamed. Mom, you know how proud she's been of her little startup. But we're family, no secrets. No shame. The dig was surgical, reducing Emily's decade of blood and sweat to a little startup. Lauren's pièce de résistance came next. I've offered her my guest room until she's back on her feet. I've already reached out to contacts about jobs, something stable, like admin work. Emily's vision tunneled. The memory hit hard. 2 years ago, when Lauren was fired from a boutique for attitude issues, Emily had offered her a role at Greenhaven's customer service team. Lauren had laughed, saying she'd never work for my baby sister. Now, she was playing savior while gutting Emily's dignity. Their dad stood, face flushed. Emily, why are we hearing this now? We could have helped. All eyes were on her. The truth, her business was recovering. No bankruptcy filed, would sound like denial. Thank you for your concern, Emily said, her voice steady despite the tremor in her chest. But Lauren's mistaken. Greenhaven's restructuring, not bankrupt. I'm handling it. Lauren's smile flickered. Oh, Emily, don't put on a brave face. I saw the Chapter 11 forms. The specificity was a calculated lie. Lending her credibility. Several relatives nodded, buying her story over Emily's calm rebuttal. Maybe we should talk privately, Emily suggested, her composure fraying. Lauren spread her arms. We're family. No need to hide failure. It's part of life. Though I did warn you about scaling too fast. Another lie. She'd never warned Emily of anything. Furious, Emily excused herself, feeling the weight of dozens of stares as she retreated to the kitchen. Inside, she leaned against the counter, breathing deeply. Her phone buzzed. Mia's text. Want me to accidentally dump lemonade on her jumpsuit? Emily smiled despite herself. Then another message. Her agent. With the final Lake Norman contract. Uncle David appeared in the doorway, his kind eyes assessing her. Your sister's a regular Oscar contender, he said, closing the door for privacy. Don't believe a word about bankruptcy. But even if it were true, you're still our Emily. Success doesn't define you here. His words cracked something open in her. For years, she'd defined herself against Lauren, steady where Lauren was reckless, quiet where Lauren was loud. Maybe she'd lost sight of who she was in the process. Thank you, Emily whispered. So, what's your plan? David asked, a twinkle in his eye. I know you've got one. She nodded. It's happening tomorrow morning. He grinned. That's my girl. Now, let's get back before your mom starts a GoFundMe for your fake bankruptcy. The reunion dragged on, a gauntlet of well-meaning but humiliating advice. Aunt Karen pushed her MLM pamphlet again. Cousin Ethan offered to review Emily's financials, ignoring his own failed vape shop. Lauren floated through, basking in her role as the benevolent sister, suggesting Emily borrow her old blazers for job interviews. By dusk, Emily sat alone on the backyard swing, the same one she'd escaped to as a kid when Lauren's taunts stung too deep. Mia joined her, 2 glasses of wine in hand. Remember when Lauren told everyone you were scared of the dark at 10? Mia asked. Emily groaned. She had mom checking my nightlight for weeks. Mia clinked her glass against Emily's. You've always played the long game. That's why I'm not worried. Lauren's name flashed on Emily's phone, a call she declined. Seconds later, Lauren appeared, striding toward the swing. Mia whispered, drama incoming, and slipped away. Lauren perched beside Emily, her jumpsuit clashing with the rustic wood. You're avoiding me, she said, faking hurt. Can you blame me? Emily shot back. You announced I'm bankrupt our entire family based on papers you stole. Lauren bristled. I was worried. I saw the forms. Chapter 11 doesn't lie. Emily's voice was steel. Those were contingency drafts. Never filed. My business is fine. For a moment, Lauren faltered, but she doubled down. I'm just looking out for you. You're moving in with me. End of story. Emily stood. I'm not. And we're done here. As Lauren stormed off, Emily texted her privately. Meet me at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Starbucks on Lakeshore Drive, Lake Norman. We need to talk. Sunday morning broke crisp and clear. Emily dressed with purpose, tailored blazer. Simple jeans. No fuss. She drove the 2 hours to Lake Norman. The closing documents on her passenger seat a quiet reminder of her gamble. At the real estate office. She signed her name until her hand cramped. Wired $1 million. And received 3 sets of keys. Congratulations, Ms. Harper, the agent said. The lake house is yours. Emily drove to the property. Her breath catching at its beauty, cedar and glass. A wraparound deck, the lake sparkling like a promise. She unlocked the door, stepping into a great room with soaring windows and a stone fireplace. The kitchen gleamed with quartz counters. The master suite upstairs felt like a retreat. Lauren had raved about this house for years. And now it was Emily's. At 10:15, Emily texted Lauren. Change of plans. Meet me at 1440 Lakeshore Drive, Lauren replied. Where's that? Emily smirked. Just GPS it. She brewed coffee, set 2 mugs on the deck's swing, and waited, the lake's calm soothing her nerves. At 10:47, Lauren was always late. Her Audi purred into the driveway. Lauren emerged, confused, checking her phone. Her confusion deepened as she approached the house. Its grandeur dawning on her. Spotting Emily on the deck, she frowned. What are you doing here? Whose place is this? Sit, Emily said, gesturing to the swing. Coffee? Lauren stayed standing, arms crossed. Seriously, are you house sitting? Emily sipped her coffee, savoring the moment. You don't recognize it? Funny, since you called it your dream home for 3 years. Lauren's eyes widened, spinning to take in the house. This is the Lake Norman estate? It sold ages ago, back on the market last month. Emily said, dangling the keys. Divorce sale. Want a tour? Lauren stared, comprehension dawning. You bought this? How? You're bankrupt. Emily set the keys down. That's why we're here. Lauren, I'm not bankrupt. Never was. Those papers you found? Contingency drafts for a worst-case scenario. Greenhaven had a supplier issue. But we're already recovering. Lauren sank onto the swing, clutching her purse. So, you're not moving in with me? No, Emily said firmly. But why let me tell everyone you were broke? Emily's voice sharpened. Let you? You snooped, lied, and humiliated me in front of our family without a word to me. I didn't let you do anything. Lauren looked away, her facade cracking. I thought I was helping. Were you? Emily pressed. Or did you love playing the hero while I squirmed? Silence stretched between them. Emily softened. Lauren, this has to stop. You've been tearing me down since we were kids. I'm done staying quiet. Lauren stared at the lake. Her voice small. You're the perfect one, smart, successful. Do you know how hard it is to be your sister? Emily laughed, incredulous. My shadow? You've spent our lives acting like you're the star. Dismissing my work. Flaunting things you can't afford. Yesterday, you could have asked me about those papers. Instead, you chose to hurt me. Why? A tear streaked Lauren's cheek. Because I'm failing. Emily, my cards are maxed. My car's about to be repoed. My job's on the line. When I saw those papers, I thought, finally, I'm not the screw-up. The raw honesty stunned Emily. Why didn't you just ask for help? She said softly. Lauren's voice broke. I'm the big sister. I'm supposed to have it together. How could I admit you're killing it while I'm drowning? Emily handed her a tissue. Success isn't a race, Lauren. And it's not just money or titles. I work 70-hour weeks. I haven't dated in years. My life's not perfect. Lauren looked surprised, as if Emily's struggles were news. I guess we both made up stories about each other. Emily nodded. So let's try something new. This house has 5 bedrooms. One's mine. One could be yours, if you agree to some rules. No more public stabs. Total honesty about money, struggles, everything. And you tell the family the truth about yesterday. Lauren winced. They'll hate me. They'll respect you for owning it. Emily said. In return, you get this house sometimes, and a shot at being sisters. Not rivals. I'll help with your finances. No judgment. Lauren hesitated, then hugged Emily tightly. Deal, she whispered. as Lauren toured the house. Exclaiming over its features, Emily called their parents. The truth was coming. 2 weeks later, the family gathered at the lake house. Stunned by the joint invitation from Emily and Lauren, the great room buzzed with curiosity as relatives admired the lake views. Lauren, dressed simply, no designer logos, clinked a glass. "I owe you an apology," she began, her voice shaky. "At the reunion, I said Emily was bankrupt. That was a lie. I misread some papers and announced it without asking her. Her business is thriving. She bought this house the next day." Murmurs erupted. Lauren continued, "I've been jealous, competing with her for years. It stops now." Emily stepped beside her. "This house isn't about winning. It's for family. Lauren and I are starting fresh. And you're all part of it." Their dad spoke first, voice thick. "We're proud of you both." The room relaxed. Relatives offering support, some admitting they'd bought Lauren's lie too easily. In the months that followed, Lauren tackled her debt with Emily's guidance, landing a retail management job that suited her flair. Greenhaven soared, its new strategies yielding record profits. The lake house became a haven, anniversaries, cousin sleepovers, and monthly sister weekends rebuilding what rivalry had broken. One sunset on the dock. Lauren said, "You could have rubbed this house in my face. Why didn't you?" Emily smiled, toes in the water. "I didn't want revenge. I wanted my sister back." Lauren nodded. "Comparing myself to you was exhausting. I'm done with it." As the lake glowed gold, Emily realized the house wasn't just an investment. It was where they'd found honesty, healing, and each other.